Appreciate your time, Frank. This gentleman has done wonders for sim racing, the real world racers that come into sim racing or go back and forth. Frank's responsible to get some guys out on track. So without further ado, Mr. Frank Swartz, Grass Paddock Motorsports, tell us what you do.
What do we call this thing? Racing Line. I'm all out of sync. We got more people to deal with this week than what I'm used to. So thanks to my co-host, Jason, for joining us. Adam's back this week. And as you can see, we got a fourth sitting here. Megan Oversheet is already joining us to help us do some reviews and stuff. So thank you, Megan.
Let's go, Megan.
And help us. Good evening, Greg.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, we're just getting ready to review the spec racers, and since we had an announcer in the waiting room, we thought we'd go ahead and bring you in.
Well, thank you very much.
There he is.
Hey, we got him.
Hey, Jason, we got you this time.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
We won't talk about the other thing.
Our special guest for the evening, Mr. Dave Ogburn, and for Dave to introduce you to these two knuckleheads, you got.
Great to see you, Thor. Welcome to the fourth chair and the podcast this week.
No, thank you so much for having me. It feels surreal, like finally being able to talk to you guys. You know, I've been in this league for like 2-3 years, and finally face to face.
Yes, of course, yes.
Jeff.
I'm on the spot now, Jeff. Oh. So, welcome, Mr. Jeff Jacobson. Again. Great to have you here. Thanks for taking some time out to join us. We get to some fun part. That's why you're here, Jerry. This is our guest segment after the reviews. So thanks for sitting through with us. And
that was fun.
And
thanks.
Yeah, it's some good racing. So, well, first of all, we gotta say thank you to Trenton for taking time to come join us. He's one of the hardest working guys I know, and you can look there in the shop behind him and get an idea of what he does. So, as everybody sees, we've got Darren Ganji, and if you didn't know already, he is Mr. Sim Motion, where you can get all your sim rigs and equipment and everything. He's also the sponsor of that league we were just talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Sean Ambrose, we go back forever, back to the very early beginning days of the Weekend Warriors, when it was broadcasted on another broadcast, GSRC, I don't mind saying it. Very good to us, and Sean was one of the producers, announcers, always great to talk with.
So, Mr. Edgar Sancinelli, Weekend Warrior, Frito Sport Racing. I don't know what all you do, but great to have you join us tonight, Edgar.
Yes.
I'm not saying shit. Oh, see, I literally... Whatever,
Yeah,
I give up.
there you go.
I know you've had a mute for me.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, when you
Yeah.
just for the views when Adam and you were there. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's
jeez.
Oh, yeah.
right. Welcome, everybody. Another episode of the Racing Line. I think this is number 25. So, wow, we're getting there.
Crazy.
Great to see Adam back with us, Mr. 410 Master. What? Okay, you'll have to explain that one to us a little bit in a bit. Yeah, Jason Green.
He didn't brag too much.
Yeah. Our team coach, as a matter of fact. And Mr. Kevin Ford, thank you for taking time to join us tonight, Kevin, from Xtreme Scoring Systems. So great to have you on. You're going to have a great different view from like 10,000 feet of this sim racing world that we'd be interested in hearing about. So
you bet. Looking forward to
thanks
it.
to all you guys for joining tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. So welcome all of our chat room. Always good to see everybody there. Definitely part of this show. So couldn't do it without everybody. Yeah, he's some coaching from Dan for Adam coming up because Adam's.
That's where we're going. Okay.
Yeah,
You're due the
expected
middle
Dan
of
to vanish.
Yeah, you're due the middle of April. Is that right, Adam?
Okay. We don't need.
Oh.
We don't need to hear from Adam. It's fine.
Yeah, but we're good. Oh, so anyway, guys, how are things?
So so Adam was just commenting on Dan's ability to somehow still race and be around as though he didn't just have a child. So so yeah, we're Dan Adam needs tips.
Yeah,
on,
Dan,
how
to
to
know
pull that off.
just how far in the doghouse is he?
Yeah,
Exactly.
We expected you to just vanish.
Are we back now, Adam?
Yeah, we are. I'm back here. And hey, Michelle, sorry, Stevie, I'm going to do this on the air. That one's for you, by the way. But anyways.
I saw nothing.
But anyways, we can go over to the FB video whenever you're ready, Stevie.
Yep.
All right. For those that aren't aware of how we do things, and Kevin, if you haven't followed us too much, we always start off the first half of the podcast with highlights from our Weekend Warrior series, and Jason Green puts them together.
Exciting.
So we're going to start off with the Formula V's from Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
Nice.
Holden Park International in the rain.
Let's get things up and
Our second race of the season in the rain for the V's.
This track played host to the season opener one season ago, but we got some rain in the air. The green flags out and the drivers are on their way. Pretty good start from York Monica.
I guess that track had some pretty good drainage, so it didn't puddle too bad.
Well, Jim's got, and for stuff like this, I'm glad Jim does it this way. He does static weather, so even if it is coming down, it's not going to puddle anymore. The track will be about the same. But yes, that was an incident and a half right there.
The infamous turn one at Brands will certainly create havoc.
Instant anvil.
Yeah. Poor Michelle and the anvil this season.
There's such an adjustment in the rain that drivers have to make. You have that many cars going into turn one.
Yeah, they had 34 V's this time, I think.
That was a bizarre looking collision. You could see Michelle Lynn.
That's calamity at its
best.
best.
Going up in the air.
One.
Holy cow! That I can't even.
Two.
Two.
3, 4.
Michelle,
5.
6. Like we're cutting that section. Everybody hit Michelle.
Ouch.
Doing a great job. And look, he's sitting in P2 right now in Spec 2. Chris Dowden up there.
I was
3 here. We're on now.
What's that?
Lap 3 we're on.
Yeah, it gets better.
With Nate will leave Rue, but he is a very
I was shocked that people were able to make moves.
Shell Corner, I believe, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep, the hairpin.
Holden Park, Shell Corner.
For sure, and as we
Alton
saw,
Park.
Nate's put it all on the line there. This was crazy. Wasn't able to get the move done.
Look at
James
the
vanishes for like 4 seconds and appears 2 seconds
Yeah.
back behind
Sorry to cut you off there.
behind
He
Nate.
must have blinked big time there because he's back now, but it showed James
Somebody
Shelton
was
out of,
out
the race
of this
minute,
race
and that would have
for
been
some
he was
reason.
back into 5th place now.
And in the booth.
Yeah, Jason. It's weird listening to Jason on here and listening to him in the podcast.
Driver coming up from dead last. Says Brian.
Yeah, Kevin, he
nice battle.
he kind of punted somebody last week, unintentionally, but he punted somebody, so Jason enforced a one race ban on himself. So
oh my goodness! Well,
he went in the booth and helped him broadcast this one.
Oh, nice.
Experience. It just gives.
Man, I was Russ Telker fanboying so much this race.
Russ, that's such a good race.
Very wrong for Russ Telker.
Oh, heading down in the show here, quite the battle with these three.
Jim Brewster,
the equator is able to get the move done.
Conditions like this,
Jim's in chat tonight, Michelle, Guido,
such a critical corner to get right. The exit is so crucial there. Coming up over the hill. Got to get that
Ron just broke out of here.
I mean,
this is great. You're using that circle.
I don't even know what to say right now. Obviously, Russ Telker around Jim Brewster.
I don't even remember what he said.
He said it's like wrestling a chimpanzee in a phone booth.
That's what it was.
Let's see if Lightning is going to strike
Russ
twice
Telker
for these
around Jim
racers.
Brewster.
Look at that, Chris Doden getting that move done on Jim Brewster.
Don't want to be in the middle of those packs. Is usually how you want to around the outside.
Wow. Yeah, Russ was going at it.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
He got that special paint, and he just.
Want to really make
aggressive watch how close this is.
Right now, watch this move on Guido Marzuki.
Oh man.
So good.
Holy cow, that was some close
Very
quarter
fortunate
stuff,
that
heading
Netco
off into
didn't
turn
make
number
an
one.
appearance there. You
Yeah.
want to be either in the very front of a pack or the very rear of the pack. Those are the two safest places to be.
Yeah, we didn't seem to catch that one on the broadcast there, Jim.
This is a move. Russ gonna leave him room to the outside.
Well, you guys have great. Oh, nice.
Everything's okay, side by side now, but look.
These V's have some of the best racing week after week.
Oh, these cars are just great. Yeah.
Now into turn one.
Oh, look at this.
Jesus Rodriguez has got
the
some
weekend
That's
warrior
so tough to do there at turn one. The way that corner wraps tight on this exit.
The sun is shining, got a move done
And
around
it'd
the
be even
outside.
more so in the rain.
Heading off through turn number one. I did not make that joke. You went there, Adam. I did not. Side by side racing with Telker and Marzuki heading down the hill into turn number 3. Looks like Telker going to get that
Tam
move done.
saying
Final spot
these
in
are
the
the
top
best.
5 as it stands at the moment. Antonio Reese only the second
Boy,
in the
what a
Masters
great
races,
battle
but
here.
never
Lap
mind
12
that.
now.
Look at that.
Pretty much the entire
Holy
second
cow
half of
from
the
Jesus
race.
Rodriguez sweeping
That's
around
amazing.
the outside, heading through turn number 1 as we see.
Yeah, the
V's
V's,
move done on Telker.
Kevin, they use a straight up 30-minute race, and then the Fords, some of the Fords, the Spec Racer Fords on Sunday, we do the 40-minute with a gas stop.
Okay, gotcha, with one stop. Yeah, and that's a
V's,
mandatory one stop.
Yeah, I limit the fuel to about 30 minutes worth of fuel for the 40-minute race.
Okay, so there's a bit of a pit window there then.
Yep. The V's is just a straight up 30-minute race on Saturdays.
Very close.
That white flag is
And we've got
in
the
air.
three
Also, one
classes.
more lap of racing action here
If
from
you
the
hadn't
Formula
seen
V
that,
Weekend
the
Warriors
Spec
at
1, the
Alta
red
Park.
highlight.
Yeah, right. Yep.
This is defending the inside.
They're 3,500 and above, Spec 2 below that, and then the Masters, the 60-year-olds and above are the yellow gold highlights.
Nice.
Oh,
a little bit of contact. Yep. Wheel there. Oh. Doesn't take much with these cars.
Comes Antonio.
Reese and Doden. Antonio Reese has a run.
900 number means he's over 60, Kevin.
Yeah.
Going for the win.
Oh man, I love it. I love it. That's my group.
This lap, Antonio Reese wheeling it on the
That's our group, isn't it, Stevie?
Yeah, I'm kind of the leader of that group.
Yeah, right.
At the front of the field. There we go for
There
Tullo.
aren't
The
too
driver
many older
number
than me
one car
out
going to
there.
be finishing P1 as a Spec 1 racer. See what I did there? 3-1 from the span of one shot.
Toward my drove away with it. This battle's incredible though for P5.
I've always
Antonio
said that
finally having a good race.
that the open wheel cars are such a great training tool for situation awareness, spatial awareness, especially in the sim. Because you can't get that door-to-door contact with them, and so it really helps you learn how to judge that distance. There's a little bit of a late break, or an early break getting tapped off track.
Oh, you'll see why.
We always have a little demo derby or something. There we go.
I was going to say, Stevie, these are where all your penalties came from.
Yeah, Olden Park has the best jump in iRacing.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Oh, that's great.
I believe we didn't get results here. First, we had the results screen break a couple times this weekend. Once here, and then once in the exit and Cross Series League Racing as well on Sunday night. So,
sure.
Welcome to software, I guess. But yeah, those are the results. I think is how they stand. And I know Stevie's going to bring them up a little while here. But congrats.
I got the standings, but not the results.
Yeah. Congrats to Tor. Obviously, again, without somebody there, he finished first.
Weird. I mean, Monty gave him a run for his money. Yeah, Monty just made one mistake really into Island Bend, ran into the grass, and that lost him the draft. But yeah, he was running right with Tor the entire race. Nate also had great pace. Lost out on the draft a little bit.
Yeah, and we mentioned this when actually during the green flag is, and when you look there at that top 5, you've got all three classes were in the top 5 when it started. You had 2 S1, 2 Masters, and also a Spec 2 driver all in that top 5. So Chris Dowden, congrats, man, on your win there, man. Spec 2 and up there in 6th place. You beat a lot of S1 drivers up and down the field there. So good job, Chris, as well.
Yeah, congratulations. Nice.
Rain's a great equalizer, isn't it?
Yeah.
And obligatory Let's Go Russ. Great P10. Could have finished a lot higher.
Nice.
Ready to get things up and rolling from the 9th
Formula Ford Sunday.
Yeah, we don't have rain in the Formula Ford.
Finally.
Yeah. So after rain last week at Okayama, and this was such a fun track. It was an absolute blast to drive. This is the Saxon Ring.
Yeah, Saxon Ring. Yep. Yeah, great course.
They always get. Oh, there goes somebody. Kevin, I always put up whatever the real world weather is. Oh man.
Holy cow. Ken, we're going to take a look at a replay.
So how do you choose your courses, Stevie, for these events?
For the Formula Fords and the Spec Racer Fords, we follow the official series, with the exception that this season the Formula Fords officials are all doing UK Tour. And there's sometimes they're doing double at the same track. So those doubles, I picked a different popular track to replace those.
Sure.
But other than that, we kind of stick with the officials, and that gives them all week to practice.
Sure. And they can use their favorite setup from whatever setup shop. Yep. Oh, man.
Jeff on Jeff Violence there.
Yep.
Jeff up and Jeff Jacobson.
I checked the forecast in weather.com or something and find out what the weather is at that specific location for Sunday.
Nice. Yep.
And whatever it is, that's what these guys are going to get.
That's wonderful. To me, that's the best way to do it. I think using that I started to say forecast, but was very much distracted by that little side-by-side. Wow.
They were keeping it clean for a while, though, outside that contact, hang down the start-finish straightaway, but it looks like Singer and the A10 car going to get the move done.
Boy, that was quite a little battle there.
Oh, yeah. It's wait till you see the SRFs.
McConnell finds himself in a battle every race, all race, it seems like. So this
I'm
is
amazed
a very common occurrence for him. He won't be feeling much pressure.
To close in on the gap with drafting.
Yeah, this is not a unfamiliar position.
Are you able to
really
if you get within a second or a half a second, how close do you have to be to suck up to the other car?
Within a second. Although these cars, the Formula Fords, don't have as much draft as the Formula V's and the SRFs.
Oh well, yeah, I could see the SRFs.
Yeah, the V's probably have the most draft in iRacing, and the SRFs are a close second.
Certainly not a good run through there for Andrew Love as he just ran.
I've never raced these, so I've been out in them
as we still see this corner that's forming.
for the second lap in a row to get around Jason Green. He's looked to the inside a few times, not been able to
He had
get
a
anything
great
done.
battle for
Green's
fourth.
going to be feeling the pressure as he runs a little bit wide and going to give Manny a big
Tor
boost.
was going for the
Really
carrying
close
more
to him, so
speed
we're gonna have a
strategy,
big
and I was going
slipstream
for the
here.
better exit strategy.
I wouldn't be
You
shocked
can
if
tell
guys go
these
3 wide into
guys
turn 1.
have a lot of experience.
Yes.
I would not be
with
surprised
understanding
at all.
car
They certainly are
placement.
side by side with Green and Tolo
That's
heading off into
Jason
turn
Green
number
right
1.
there in
Look
the
at that,
green
Rourke
and black,
Money
Kevin.
trying to
Okay,
dispatch
apropos.
of Tolo a couple of moments after trying to dispatch of Jason Green.
We're going to see one more look at this. Is that Chris
Here we go.
Montgomery? He's been fighting with all race.
Who's
Has
in
got
that pink
position
car?
away
Boy,
from
they
him,
are-
and then
Oh!
a little bit
Fabian
of contact,
Singer.
and I really hate
Gets
to
a little
point this out on
unlucky with
broadcast,
netcode.
but that looked like a healthy dose of what we like to call next.
Did not have the
Randall
best
said it on.
replay.
Oh, we're going to get kicked off YouTube, guys. He said it.
On the
He said the
overall
word.
podium, Harwood and Buchanan, I don't think they could give a rat's ass about catching up to Ian Joyner. They're mainly focused on battling each other, and let's see, look at that. Harwood maybe running a little bit wide out of turn number 11. There's a shot that Buchanan needs around the outside
plenty of room.
into turn number
Nice.
12, and Harwood's going to let him by.
So maybe
Buchanan,
earmark Tortello for the
he's the one
Thompson
that
Trophy for fuel
posts a
management.
lot
We're
of
going to see the
setups
move
for
here. It
these
looks like
guys.
Tor goes for the move on Jason Green and gets pretty well alongside coming to the last corner, but it absolutely kills
Very
his run
impressive
off the corner.
racecraft
It's
out
going to give
there.
Jörg Manny a nice dose of slipstream.
Nicely
Poor
done.
Tulo
From him
there
and
of
from
Real
Jason
World
Green,
from the
able to
V
make his
driver
way
champion.
around Tortello there. Jason
Oh,
Green able to
well,
retain the spot.
little bit of
as leading out
experience
that
there.
train.
And he does
Jörg
actually
Manny
race for
moves up to
Brabham.
second place.
No,
Brabham
Jim.
is
Oh, well.
Jason Green is look at this.
Jim
Yeah,
Randall
they
said
were
net
close
code.
coming through turn 1.
That's the word that you don't use if you don't want to make iRacing mad.
Here we go,
Yeah.
side by side,
Right.
heading into the braking zone of
Exactly.
turn number 1. Monty trying to
Monty
sweep
just
around the outside. That
absolutely-
is close quarter stuff between the two of them,
Absolutely
heading down
outbroke
the
me
hill,
there.
off into turn number 2 right now. This long,
The old guy showing the
never-ending
way.
Oh,
left-hander
yeah.
into the long,
I was too
never-ending
timid on the
right-hander.
brakes.
These drivers'
Boy, he
tires
carried
are
some
getting
speed through that turn on that
right
overtake.
at the end of
Jeez.
this race.
That was 4.5 tenths faster than Ian Joyner.
There's
So
there's
that gap
JG.
closed down
It's
to
fine.
1.7 seconds.
Oh,
It's always fine.
Look
What
at
a
this.
move.
Oh, this Jörg
Nice.
Manny
Yeah,
was
Monty
trouble there.
nice.
He's
made a
gonna
mistake
give up
there.
one spot,
Yeah, it
possibly
looked like
two.
he
Jason
broke
Green
loose a
gonna
little
take
bit
that spot
there.
back.
Yep.
Tortello
Yeah,
gonna
just
take
carried
his
slightly
spot
too much
back.
speed.
But there
Just a
we
little
go
bit,
at the
yeah.
front of the field. Ian Joyner not dropping back into the crutches of
Though
Edward Buchanan.
Tor had an
However,
incredible
Richard Harwood
overtake on
has
me
kept
into turn
tabs
1 and
with
turn
the
2 again,
Canadian
but
in that number 5 car. So that's been a really
didn't get
heads-up
cut on the
fight
broadcast.
to talk about involving those two
That's how he's in
drivers.
front of me
I
again.
don't think
Yeah.
we're gonna have a swap-a-roo in positions between now and the end of this race, which is coming up in only a few seconds.
I
time
try
for
to
Ian
catch
Joyner
some of
to
y'all's
grab his
races,
6th win of the
and,
season, but
'cause
as
they're-
we see him cross the
the
line,
racecraft is
battling
just
right behind with
outstanding.
Tullo,
I
Green,
Yeah,
and
really
Monty.
we get
enjoy
these
that.
large
Be
grids
close
and
right
some of
towards
these
the end
guys.
of this race. Buchanan and
Just
Harwood going right at your
tremendous
podium.
driving.
But here we go, hang down that start
Oh, look
finish
at
straightaway
this.
for the final time. Tullo was able to
Oh,
grab
what a
P4.
battle
Jason
coming to the
Green
line.
finished in 5th.
Hmm.
Jörg Monty in
Great
6th.
job by Tor.
Jörg Monty
He was
basically has
actually,
the Masters Championship sealed
and this
because of
isn't
the
meant
fact that
as a
Antonio
dig
Reese
to
didn't
Tor,
show
but
up
he
today.
was,
So
out of the three
he's
of us,
out
he
there
was the
just
slowest
hunting for the best spot
in that
he
race,
possibly
but he
can.
still managed
As
to
we see,
finish in front of both of us.
Oh
There
my
we
God,
go.
they're shooting
There's-
the runoff area.
there's
Turn number 8
bullets.
as their spot of chicanery. And
On dart.
look at that. They're coming in like a bunch of
Oh, ouch.
like anti-craft missiles. Holy cow.
We have fun after the race.
I see that. Yes. That's great.
Demo Derby started off
Right.
with the Spec Racer Fords and the Demo Derby, and it's become a thing.
Oh, that's great.
Ian
Also,
Joyner.
shout out to Guido for these
Oh, yeah.
amazing graphics now. Splicing them up a little bit, and they look fantastic.
I think it's still in the works there over on the SMB side. Like I said, I'm trying to stay as much out of that as possible now, but I do believe that there might be something coming down the pipe here sometime in the future for other leagues that get broadcasted by SMB to have graphics like this.
Yep.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
yeah, we'll obviously cross that bridge when we get there. If Guido obviously hangs around and gives Mr. Wilkie all of his knowledge and then wants to help with that, that would be I think that's going to be something. So Guido, again, thank you so much. Just going to second what Jason said here. For the second time, I'm going to piss Stevie off in this broadcast. Fucking amazing, man. It's awesome, dude. You're doing a great job. So
expletives will fly.
Exactly. But Ian Joyner did not win this time by 17 to 20 seconds, which is crazy, Jason.
Yep. Yeah, it was great. They had a good battle. I think just Ed and Richard might have taken just a little too much fuel, and that made the difference. So
Yeah.
I think they were right on each other going into the pit stops. So it was good to see a close battle at the front this time.
Yeah.
And yeah, Tor, myself, and Monty also had a great battle. And they were battling tooth and nail further back in the pack. So yeah, this track was turned out to be fantastic for racing. Shout out to Chris Montgomery for the Spec 2 win. Missing him in the Formula V's, but yeah, he's catching a lot of the Formula 4 races. So let's go, Chris.
Congrats on your top 5 there, Jason.
Thanks, sir.
Nice, nice. Well done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Onto the spicy one.
Yep.
Yeah. I think I've got a couple of words for that one after it's done. So.
Yeah.
Here's how it looks on track. It's foggy. The relative
We're at,
humidity is incredibly high.
wait,
These drivers are
listen
driving
to it,
around
Ron.
soup.
Little bit of
Soup.
early morning
That
fog
was terrible.
here.
I apologize. Ready to get things up and rolling for the 9th race of this season.
Ron with the
waiting
soup
for
suka.
Maurizio Nizzoli to grab
Soup
that
suka,
green
yeah.
flag and see
Suka,
if he
right?
can hold off the
Yeah,
challenge.
don't
know
have
the
rain
Samoas
in the SRS
alongside
yet, but
as these
we do
drivers
have
pick their way through the
humidity
mist.
and
We can't
fog.
even see them, but the
Can't
green
wait.
flag is
Can't
out,
wait till
and the
racing gives
drivers
us
are on
rain.
their way, if they could even see it. Heading down that start finish straightaway into turn number 1. The field fanning at 3, 4, 5, 6 wide, a little bit farther
Typical
in the back.
Weekend
Look
Warriors.
at these racers. So look at Samoa
Full
sweeping around
width
the
of the
outside,
track.
heading off into turn number 1 and 2. He's going to take the lead
Look
over
at this.
Maurizio Nizzoli in P2. Looking
We
at Trey
all-
Kramer and Jason Green.
we
the two
all make it
Americans
through turn
going
one.
side by
That's
side. And
Suzuka.
Josh
Everybody made
Wilkie
it.
getting off to
Oh
a
my
flyer as well.
gosh. That's
To see
a
what happened
miracle
to
in
Josh.
itself.
He had that off-track moment hang through turn number 11 a couple of moments before this. And there he goes
Poor
side by
Josh.
side
Oh,
into
Handles
turn
galore.
number
Wilkie,
and
that's our SMB
he
colleague.
makes contact with Bradshaw.
Oh,
For an early pit strategy, Tortello is involved here and is that
lock him up, lock him up.
braking mark there on the inside.
Yep,
It drives it
that
really
happens
deep,
pretty
then
regularly
drives
right
it
there.
through the gravel. Does the old
That works.
Final
Senna
chicane will
rejoin.
get you.
We see this gap forming. This is just like the Formula Ford race we saw a little
Felix
bit ago. We have the
Mose,
top 3 breaking
Maurizio
away, and then
Nizzoli,
another
and Jason Green
3 cars.
battling for the lead.
Running
In
for our
that final
lives.
chicane, Jason,
Mhm.
I know there's braking markers. Are those braking markers for the F1 track? So do you have to...
So it's for the track that we're running. Yeah.
Oh, it was. Okay. I was going to say, I didn't know if that was like last week where the braking marker was actually for the chicane after it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's well, I don't think Tor ran the officials, but we were actually running the West layout for the officials, and the brake markers were wrong for that one.
Got
so it took some of us that ran the officials a little bit to adjust because we were braking way too early.
Yeah, and the officials this week, they ran the West circuit, and that only had 22 pit stalls available. So
Yeah, that's
we,
right. Yeah.
made the decision to run the full circuit for this one.
But yeah, we were had to push a little bit to keep Trent out of the draft because he was flying.
Jason, you again in the green car there?
Yep.
Yep.
On brand. Try to make it easy for the announcers to remember my car.
Well, that made it easy for me because I'm a newbie, so.
Right? So it's working. It's working.
Tried and tested. Yep.
Oh yeah, Trent had a great pit stop up until the very, very end. He crossed the white line about a car length too early.
Oh.
So that's why he got a drive-through penalty. Otherwise, he would have been in my draft.
Very unfortunate.
So easy to do on this tire model.
Yep.
Yeah, I know, Michelle. I know.
Adam has enough paints to do. There's Michael Odell, last week's guest.
Yeah, they're in the White Alliance Auto Sport car. Kevin, the second one there. Michael Odell,
sure.
he races for Spec Racing Ford's real life.
Gotcha.
With Alliance Auto Sport.
And position he's in right now that I'm seeing?
P7.
Running
P6 now.
P7. Gotcha. P6. Gotcha.
Second,
There we
second
go.
in Spec 2.
Last lap battle for the win.
Nice little
Okay,
battle
this is
here.
the last lap. Here we go, guys.
The 130R.
Is it going to be a 130R overtake? Let's see here. Oh,
Well,
it is. Oh,
It was
maybe.
it was a 130R something.
It was something. Here we go.
Oh, don't get
Felix goes out. Comes in. Mauricio goes wide. Felix goes wider. And
no.
they touch.
Oh, and it took them both out?
Yeah,
Oh, no,
Mauricio kind of stayed out there with him. And he kept his foot in it.
What was the call on that? I'd be curious.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah, I'm anxious.
Yeah. Yeah, that's we'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go Ben Rycroft. His best results so far.
Yeah.
In Spec 2, getting P3 on the track. And then Michael Odell as well in P6.
Yep. Good results from the Spec 2 guys.
And then did Trent get P4? I guess we'll talk about it in a second, but yeah. Here's the yeah, just two drivers racing hard. It's the last lap. They're both hard racers. And yeah. So Stevie, do you want to go over what
Yeah, let's
what
go over the results
result
and then
was
I'll have a few words on that.
Okay.
That sounded daunting.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I'll get through it. Congrats, Felix, on your win. Ben Rycroft. Ben, you're Spec 2 and you took third place, man. So that's crazy. Didn't know that until right now because of everything else that happened at the end of that race. But Antonio Race, as he I try, man. I try, Antonio. I really do. He told me how to say his last name, and I can't do it. But yeah, so Antonio Reese with ninth place, obviously winner in Masters there. Jorg had a bit of a falling anvil. A ghost came out onto the track and decided to looked like blew his left right tire. But yeah, that was that was interesting. And Stevie, we are gonna go back to the podcast now, so we can see each other and talk about all of this stuff. So here we are.
Let's go Trent. Let's go Trent getting P5 with the penalty, and then great run for Michael Odell as well.
Yeah, that finish it brought out a lot of emotions, everything, especially in the chat, and some of it kind of got out of bounds, and we're going to take care of that. But those two racing, like I said, Maurizio went wide, Felix went wider. Maurizio stayed out there to take advantage. You could say that Felix probably should have backed off to tuck in. The last word in it is, if you go off track, it's your responsibility to come back on track safely. So that's what it boiled down to. Felix himself apologized profusely in the chat and Discord afterwards, and in fact said that he took it upon himself that he does not want those results to count for himself, and asked to be DQ'd from that race as well. So with that request, we did that, and he wants to play it fair. And Maurizio also commented in the Discord later that he had no problems. He's raced against Felix for 5 years. This is the first time they've had an issue. So yeah, everybody's good. Just in the chat said that kind of got out of hand. Some what do you say, accusations on nationality and everything. We need to keep it respectful.
Yeah, you can't start going after people's nationality, man. That's bullshit.
So,
and I'll tell you on the stream. I said it in the SRF chat as well. Like, I may not be around like as much in the slow motion broadcasting stuff, but if I hear about something like that going on, you can bet your ass you will never be able to comment in another comment section ever in slow motion broadcasting. That is just, there's got to be a line drawn somewhere, and when you start going after people's nationality, that's where you have to draw it.
So we made the decision to kind of ban those two from the YouTube chat for a while and let things simmer down. So other than that, everybody's all good. Felix said he self imposed his points for that one, and we're all good. So we go forward to another week. Let me see.
And yeah, and I want to say that I've all of the respect for both Maurizio and Felix. They're both incredible drivers, incredibly talented. both very fair as well.
Yeah.
I empathize with Felix a lot because it's I can see exactly what happened. You know, he's racing hard, he's going for the win, and
Minimize the damage, stay into it, and try
yeah,
to
and
just misjudge a
Absolutely.
little bit.
Yeah.
So
I've uh, it's almost the exact same kind of situation. It's not the exact same, but it's a similar situation with me and Tor. I let it on a couple weeks ago. I'm sure his feeling was the exact same as mine as soon as it happened. That that's not what either of us want to do. We don't want to wreck somebody to win the race.
Right.
And immediately on Discord, when it happened, he it's not what he wants to do.
I think
So
we got some of the
so it's a
most
snap. Yeah, it's a snap
respectful, fair
decision.
rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, it was just close racing, hard racing. So
We've got some great, respectful, fair racers in the Warriors. You've seen it time and time again. So huge shout out just to the whole group. So
Yep.
All right. I think we got some points to share. And there you go. Starting off with the Formula V's. Somebody wasn't there this week, and Tor Tulo had took the lead back.
Yep. Tor is
over
back on
Jason.
top.
But if you notice the numbers here on the left side, Tor's got number 2, Jason's 3, Nate is 4. There's a number 1 down here by the old guy is leading overall. So give it to York Monty for leading overall with the V's. Michelle Lynn still got the Spec 2, Andrew Love, Travis Trail coming up behind them.
Let's go, Michelle.
Jim Brewster
And
and
Andrew.
Nick Paulo. I was starting to say I think they swapped, but I don't know. I think they maintain position there. So Jorg is just driving off in the sunset in that championship.
Oh yeah.
But if you look across, look who's on top of the Masters in all 3 categories.
The janitor.
Yeah,
the janitor, as Randall calls him at this point.
The janitor? Is it
Yes.
because he cleans up? Is that?
Yep.
Ah, there we
up.
go. Yes,
Yep.
yes.
Formula
I'm catching
4,
on.
Ian Joyner and Jason Green. 90 points, something
Yeah.
back.
No, Ian's gone. So it'd be Ian Joyner, period.
Yeah.
Then then myself and Michael still super close.
Yeah, 3 points there.
Yeah, that'll be
what
close.
about the drops?
I have no idea.
We've
I
got
haven't looked into it,
max
but
of races to count, so there's 3 drops. So I think these 3 are pretty much maxed out, unless they have a better race than one of the worst. So, but that won't gain you a whole lot. So, yeah. Spec 2, Jeff Wubker, Boris, and Bill.
Ooh, that's pretty close, actually.
Yeah,
That is close. Yeah.
After 9 races, we're 14 points apart here. So
That's a tight
shout
battle.
out to Boris. He's I've seen a lot of improvement from him over the course of the season. So look for him to make a charge, I think.
Yeah. And then we get to the Masters once again. Jorg is just kind of checked out. John Toms, Jim Brewster rounding out the podium on that one so far. Look who's on top here for Spec Racers, but not by much, Jason.
Boy, you are holding on by the chin, man. Oh man, that is close.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the only reason that I am in front of Felix right now is because of that self-imposed penalty that Felix did. So it's gonna be close. I'm not sure I'll be able to hang on to that because Felix is in general faster than me at most tracks. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Should be fun.
Trenton a ways back, hanging on to the 3rd step. Jorg Monty is 3rd overall, but top of the Masters. Dan Witzek, Ben Rycroft, Paulo rounding out the Spec 2. Again, not real far apart here, so we'll see how the drops play in on that one.
Jorg is just like you said. He's a janitor. He's pretty much got all 3 championships sewed up for Masters.
Boy, oh boy.
Brad and Antonio rounding that one out. So, and since Kevin's here this week, I've got another championship to throw up.
Oh,
Especially,
okay.
this is our Wednesday night club racing league.
Nice.
And
okay.
I have tested Kevin and the Xtreme Scoring to the max with this league. It is so
my hat's off to you, sir. You certainly stretched our software to the nth degree.
We've got 3 groups, and we alternate each Wednesday through the group. So they run 3 weeks apart. Last week we ran Group 1. Spec Miatas is the 2010. SMX is the current model, the 2016, I think it is. Michelle Squire is just kicking butt on that one.
That's great. Wow.
Yeah,
Miles,
she is quick. We should probably get Michelle.
Yeah, that
on the
should be
podcast
another good
sometime.
one to have in.
Chuck
Knight rounding that
Labano.
out.
I know Chuck doing well.
Yeah, Chuck Labano is part of the Friedel Sport group, and Matt is part of the Friedel Sport group.
Yeah, let's go, Matt.
Right.
That is one race. We have 2 races in Group 1, the Miata Madness, and then the second race in the evening is 10 minutes longer. That one's 30 minutes. This one's 40 minutes. And Jake Snedden is one of the Sim Motion team drivers. Ian Anderson and Will Pierre both, I think, are also Sim Motion team drivers. So those guys have been kicking butt on the TCR race. Tomorrow we've got the GT4s coming up, and that one I kind of geared towards the WRL guys, the endurance kind of stuff. These are 70-minute race, single class GT4. They don't have quite enough gas to go the full 70 minutes, so there's usually a pit stop. But Michelle, as you can see, is kicking butt again.
Nice.
Pierre, Sim Motion Miles Crab is very familiar with the SCCA guys coming up in that one. Then Group 3 that will be next week, Formula V's SRF kind of SCCA based league, and some familiar Weekend Warrior names there. Josh Justice leading that one.
Oh, Nicholas.
Nick Rice-Puto or Rasputo is
I always struggled with his name.
Yeah, he's a real world Spec Racer 4 driver. Andrew Love, very familiar Weekend Warriors. And then for the SRF, we kind of flip them around again. Nick on top, Josh, and then Brad Cathcart, our Aussie friend. So
I got one more thing, Stevie. After you're done with that.
Excuse me. Go ahead.
Oh no! Whenever you get done sharing, I think I'm going to share mine here because
okay.
While we're covering all the leagues basically except one, the slow motion broadcasting is done. What have I done? We got this.
Stevie, you're front and center, buddy. What's the announcement?
There we go. So
wonder why you want to share this one.
I know it's a little tiny, but Stevie, you asked me to. Before we get into Kevin's interview here, you asked me to cover why I'm the 410 master. Cross Series League Racing kicked off this weekend, and Kevin, I know you haven't heard of it. Not many people have, but XSLR runs all 4 series. So we run dirt oval, dirt road, asphalt oval, and asphalt road. So we're starting off this season with the dirt road. We ran the 410 sprint cars at Knoxville on Sunday night. And if you go and you look through those standings, look at the guy. I know it's only been one race, okay? One race. Yep. Jason Green bought the 410 sprint car last week, and he finished in P3. So there were quite there were quite a few incidents there at the end. My buddy Jimmy Howitt down there finished, where did he finish? 7th. Forgot to bind a tear off. He reset his computer and forgot to bind a tear off button to his 410 sprint car, and that caused some issues for Michelle Lynn at the end of the race.
Yep.
But looking through there, I just want a big shout out to all the Weekend Warriors there. I see quite a few Weekend Warriors names. Jason Green, Stevie Ray.
I was trying to follow Jason and stick with him, but he kind of went away.
Yeah, Stevie Ray there.
Once that outside line started being the fastest one, then yeah, started
That was
flyweighting people.
way out of my comfort zone, but it was a lot of fun.
Hugging the
Oh,
wall.
I'm with you there, Stevie. Yeah.
I'll actually be dropping a video from my point of view tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's going to
nice.
be a fun one to watch. But yeah, again, massive shout out to the Weekend Warriors there between Jason, Stevie. We've got Michelle Lynn, Brad Cathcart there as well, Jason Greider, Trenton Kramer. You guys basically covered 50% of our field for this race, and I hope you guys come back. I hope you had some fun. I know Stevie did, so let's keep that one up. So I just wanted to thank everybody, and yeah, that's why I'm 410 Master, because if you look at the guy up there on top, not only did he get not only did I get the win, which is 35 points, by the way, I also got P1 in qualifying and the fastest lap during the race. So that's where the other two came.
Who was second in qualifying and won the second heat?
Oh, you did well, Stevie. You did well until you found Trent.
Hey, Stevie. All right, buddy.
You did good. You finally
Yeah,
got it.
well, I mean, he beat Trent in the heat race, and
He did.
I was
Nice,
10 seconds
nice.
back in that heat race. So
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's it for me.
That's
I just
great.
wanted to bring that up.
All right.
yeah, no,
thank-
you were flying at him. Nobody had an answer. I think you were like 3/10 faster on the fastest lap.
That's
So,
going to be a fun league. 4 races with the 410s on dirt, and then we go to the pro trucks and do the jumps.
I think we're doing the 87.
Oh, yeah.
I think we're doing the 87
nice.
stock cars next around the asphalt ovals, and then we go to the Pro 4 trucks, and then we finish it out with the
we do
GT3s.
the GT3s.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's
Boy,
it's
that's
gonna
a
test you.
test of talent, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Woo.
Way out of my
Goodness
comfort
sake.
zone.
I was going to say, yeah, my talent wouldn't go very far in all that. I can tell you that.
It was a ton of fun. But
Oh, that's great.
so after
There
the
was
highlights,
a day, but not anymore.
yeah, after the highlights, we get to our guest segment, and again, welcome Kevin in from Xtreme Scoring. I got to say, appreciate you doing this again. Last time we had you scheduled, and we had some issues. Computer issues and some internet issues, and I don't know what all went on that week. It was a bad week.
It was a bit of a mess. Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of like the weather this week.
Yeah, exactly.
So appreciate you coming back with us.
You bet. You bet.
And he's with Xtreme Scoring. We use him for our league point systems that get shared on the website and everything. So I always start off our guest with asking them how you got started with this crazy hobby of sim racing, Kevin.
Well, as for most of us, it goes back quite a ways. I started, well, I guess officially back in 2004 would be, I guess the first time that I recall really getting serious about it instead of just playing with game controllers. And then once R Factor arrived, that just opened up a whole new avenue of exploring, sim racing, learning racecraft, seeing how this benefits drivers in real life, and I thought, this is actually something that could grow some legs over time. And so I got very heavily into the driving aspect. I used to run quarter midgets when I was younger and raced motocross for years, and so I've come from a racing background. But sim racing was so intriguing to me because it was something you could do at home, you could do on your own schedule, you could join races at your leisure or a league or whatever the case may be. So it was really accommodating to anybody's lifestyle until you get hooked.
Yeah. Then it gets expensive.
Then things get expensive and time becomes of the essence, and I need 3 hours of practice today and tomorrow, Yeah, so it becomes a whole different thing. So taking it from a hobby to a serious sim racer is a bit of a gray line to cross, because you don't make that leap right away. And if you ever get to the point of being able to become a serious sim racer, you're fortunate to even reach that point. Because I consider the serious sim racers the guys that are investing, $10,000-$15,000 in their rig. They may drive in a series in real life in the SCCA or whatever the case may be. Those are guys that are really utilizing the tool as a means of helping them out in the IRL. So when you look at where sim racing has come, and I'm sure many of you started way back. I know Stevie's been around doing this for quite some time. I think we saw the first cars run on dirt. 200 years ago?
Yeah, pretty close. Yeah,
pretty close. Yeah, give or take a couple of years.
Yeah.
But so I continued to grow with R Factor. Then of course iRacing came out, and I messed with Papyrus back in the day and got into the oval racing. I was born a road racer. I bleed road racing, but I sure love watching oval racing. I think it's super exciting. I really enjoy following, even late model and dirt series. I don't follow it now as much as I used to, but to me, that close inch side-by-side racing like that it takes a very unique talent, I think, more so than a lot of people imagine. That's all I'm going to say about oval. So road racing, yeah, it's definitely that's my kindred spirit for sure, and always has been. But as I got into iRacing, wow, my whole world changed as far as sim racing. I stayed with driving for several years, managed to capture 3 back-to-back overall championships in the Ford Mustang in 2015 and the last 3 seasons of that year for
Let's
the
go.
officials. And so that was my biggest claim to fame was picking off those 3 overall titles. But yeah, then after that, and then we got old, Stevie. Yeah, somehow the years started to show, but yeah, so then I became very involved with our league that we had for 10 years, and that just grew and grew and grew. And Stevie's aware of our series. We've always shared drivers back and forth over the years, and then the idea came about to. I don't know why we did this, but we did. We have this thing called Xtreme Scoring that we've had no sleep for 8 years now. So we decided that there needed to be a scoring system out there that was more than just scoring, that was a league management system that encompassed everything from covering everything from oval and road racing for scoring, all the way to the paints management system, to race control. And of course, it started out as a very infant child just trying to get the scoring module developed. And the biggest trick was trying to accommodate all of you leagues out there that do 8,000 different types of series and rules.
Yeah.
So, we spent close to a year back in 2018 just going through design elements and trying to come up with ways that we can develop multiple layers of scoring, driver types, so that you could have, not only AM and pros, but you could actually go to a 3rd level with driver types, and you could do rookies, you could do gold, silver, bronze. It just gives you quite a diversity as far as just the scoring module, because there are just a plethora of different types of scoring out there for leagues. You can imagine. I mean, how many of you have looked at the leagues on iRacing? There's literally thousands of them.
Oh yeah.
So to try to accommodate everybody, it was quite a challenge in the beginning. Yeah, it was tough, and we worked with a lot of different series, a lot of beta series, or did beta testing for us. One of the things that came about that really worked on our favor was COVID. Who'd have thought the world would have caught a cold and sim racing would have become the hottest thing, right?
Yep.
And so we were in our development stages with the scoring. We hadn't developed the paints module yet or the race control functionality. And we had an opportunity. Our league had, I guess, grown legs to a point that we'd become a well-known series in the fact that we worked a lot with some professional drivers, as you guys do as well. And we had a relationship with the Unser family. And so from there, sorry, I was trying to move something. It was about to fall off my desk. We had a real good relationship with the Road to Indy group. And so they reached out to us and said, hey, we can't race, and neither can anyone else. We understand that NASCAR is going to NBC. we'd like to write our own ticket, and we need somebody to manage the series. So our whole team got together, and I grabbed some other guys. My background was in television production, and so I reached out to people that I knew, and I said, we may have a little project to put on, but guess what? You're going to do it from your bedroom. boy, did that spawn a lot of questions. So it was interesting to come from that background and produce a full broadcast program from our rooms within our homes. We had 21 people on our crew. 7 of those were at various television stations and broadcast networks. And we broadcast to Spain, from Spain to Canada. And then we were in 6 million homes in Canada for the whole Road to Indy series. And we did 3 seasons with them. And it was just an absolutely phenomenal experience to be involved with all these drivers that were up and coming into IndyCar. And of course, this was back in COVID. Now I'm seeing some of these guys actually,
in
making a living, doing really in IndyCar and doing really well. So it was
awesome.
kind of neat when I went up to Indianapolis for the last PRI show. I got to see some of the guys there that ran in the series, so it was neat to meet them face to face, and so that was exciting. But we were just blessed to have that opportunity to do that with them.
Kevin,
and
you said you went up to Indianapolis. Where at? Are you in Indiana?
No, I'm actually in Oklahoma City.
Oh, that's way up.
Yep.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. Yep.
I'm from Terre Haute, Indiana, so I was like, I go up too. So I'm wondering.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you might be a neighbor.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, we might have more in common.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So anyway, we did that whole series, and from that came quite an evolution with our scoring program, because here we are working with this pro group, building rule books with the IndyCar officials, getting all that put together, learning what some of the parameters are that they deal with race control. It just gave us an opportunity to gather just an enormous amount of knowledge and what we needed to really make the scoring something special. So from that, obviously, the paints came about because those guys wanted their paints done. And so we set up we had a whole team of painters that were doing all of their cars. In fact, one of our painters has continued to do paints for some of the real drivers, which has been just really a great opportunity that came about for him out of all of that. We developed the paints program, and from there that continued to develop. We used our commercial race control program for the Road to Indy series. We had we had our race director, 3 race marshals, and then they brought in 3 marshals from IndyCar. And so they all worked together on a team with our commercial race control software. We decided after all of that was over and we had used it for some other series that it was probably time, now that race control is becoming quite popular with league racing. We're seeing it all over the place now. Race control is, a valid item. People are wanting to control some of the driver behavior, and no better way to do it than what they do in real life. So we said it's time to incorporate that into the scoring module. It had been a separate product. We were just using it in a pro format. So we rebuilt the entire thing, integrated it into the scoring. So now we have scoring, paints, and race control. So we feel like we've really encompassed full league management software program. So questions, anyone?
Well, you got a question in the chat here.
Okay,
Dave Szynski is wondering if you have a favorite driver that went through the development series, if you're allowed to say.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm probably not allowed to say. I don't want to be biased, obviously, but there were several drivers that really caught our eye. Sage Karam is one of the drivers. We had.
I remember seeing him do some sim racing.
There was one other driver that I was real keen to, and I apologize, I can't call his name at the moment, but there were several there were 2 drivers, and I can't mention names, but they really stood out to me, and they have actually gone on to do quite well. So
awesome.
it was amazing to one of the greatest experiences of that was working with the drivers and hearing from them the processes that they utilize with the sim to transfer into the real car. You know,
Yeah.
we obviously know we don't get that seat of the pants feel.
Mm-hmm.
However, just besides that, the racecraft, the decision making, there's just a plethora of other things that take place in that sim car. You do exactly the same in the, and so you know, it was fascinating to hear the stories that these guys told about how they were able to translate something from the sim to the real car, even, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So it just a real credit to what the sim racing has become, what the industry has brought forth with technology, and then of course us with the extreme scoring. We're such a tiny part of the motorsports world, but I'll tell you, the scoring for leagues is becoming so popular now. The you know, having the innovation of the race control involved, it really gives a league the ability. And Stevie, as you know, it takes a ton of time off of your plate. We, you know, we are admins, all of us on the team of engineers that built the software program. We're all coming from that admin world. So we've all done this just like you guys. We've been through the late nights, you know, where the drivers want to talk to you till 12 at midnight and complain over different things that took place. And now having that that platform, it enables you to direct the drivers to now go look at the incident logs right after the race. All the information is there. They can look at all the scoring data. They can look at the penalties, give themselves time to read the assessment of what race control issued to them, allow them to calm themselves a bit.
Right.
And then be able to reassess the issue. And if they want to protest it within 24 hours, they can. But after that race, Stevie, I'm sure it's nice to hit one button, watch all those results go in, and go home.
It has saved me a ton of time dealing with the points and the championship stuff afterwards, and the auto feature that you got now, where before, if there was somebody that raced in the league that wasn't already in the database, I had to manually input that, and now it automatically adds them to the roster and stuff. So that's been nice to be able to auto import the drivers, and that like I said, it's been worth it just for that alone to save me time doing the points every week for the 3-4 leagues.
Yeah. Well, you know, and you're a perfect case where you have a lot of series running, and to manage all of those, you're multiplying everything times 4 and some. So it really is a time saver, and that was a lot of the design. We wanted it to be something that was very user friendly, very efficient, gave the flexibility that you needed. In you know, the paint system being very user friendly for the drivers to be able to load their paints. They can rotate their paints in and out if they want. They can, I mean, there's just a ton of things that you can do with the paint software. The one thing that I love about it is the approval system, where leagues are maybe not doing just base paints. They may be doing, you know, the paint or the number boards. And so, you know, some of the leagues just go crazy with that stuff. I mean, they're mimicking the imps of number boards and putting their logo at the top and doing all that stuff. But when you're doing that, you need to have communication with the driver. So a driver submits the paint, you can either approve it or reject it. If you reject it, an email goes back to the driver, says, hey, one of our contingency decals is covered up. Please move that decal to the left a few notches, send it back, and then you approve it. It's just a nice communication system between the paint manager for a series and drivers themselves. So, you know, it really is a fun program to have and a great tool for leagues to have at their disposal, without a doubt.
Keeps you busy 24/7, doesn't it?
Oh my goodness, it really does. It really does. You know, I enjoy the excitement of it because we meet with leagues every day of the week, and every league has a different system in place, maybe different rules, different strategy for drivers, different types of incident rules, and it's neat to see the variables that are out there. And I've been able to give some tips and hints to some other leagues, about other options and ways they can use the scoring software to their benefit. And of course, we have all the widgets that you can display on your websites as well. And those are all customizable to the nth degree with lots of colors. And, you can put your logo up on it. I'm just trying to think of all the bells and whistles it has. I actually put up some videos to show if anybody out there would like to see just a little minute and a half introduction to the scoring software so they can see it. Stevie, if you don't mind, I'll drag that over full screen for everybody to watch. And there'll be audio on this as well. And are you guys seeing that?
No.
Let me share my screen. And do I share that in the Discord here, Stevie?
If you want to, how can I do this?
Yeah, let's do it through.
Do you have that video, like a video? How big is a video, Kevin?
It's a 1080p video.
Okay. I was gonna say you could just DM it to me and I can throw it up on the screen, but that won't work. So what you can do is if you want to share it through, whatever Riverside. Yeah.
Yep. Let's see.
There we go.
Yeah, that's coming. I don't know if we're going to have the sound with it since.
Pardon me? No audio?
No audio.
No audio. Would we not have audio?
Mike muted in Riverside?
That's possible. Here we go. Try.
Yeah, now play it.
Still nothing.
Still nothing. Huh.
I wish I knew more about Riverside. I could help you out here. If you try to share, I wonder if it's a lot like Discord. Can you share the application instead?
I know. Let's try this.
Uh-oh. Nope.
I take it that did not work. I take it that did not work. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to have to learn Riverside a little bit more to
yeah, we'll have to mess with that a little bit more. But anyway, they can see the screen, obviously, so they can see what we have here. So what we have is this is just this is the user interface, if you will. So over on the left here, you have let me change this. Drag this over to my screen. Stand by 1 minute. Software.
D. Kevin Ford from Greg Ginsburg.
Hey, Greg, how are you, buddy? Good stuff. All right, here we go. So here's the user interface. Over here, you have your home button, and then this will bring up your actual series. If you go to My Data, which is where drivers will go to typically, that will give them the series that they actually run in here. So the driver will come in, go to My Data, and then this will show the 2 series they compete in. They will also have a paints button over here to the right. And then down below, you can look up your users that are in your actual staff, and you can assign different roles to those users for paint manager, administrator, API, depends on what department you want to assign them to. And then you have content, which is all the cars and tracks provided by iRacing. Then over to the right here, if we go to, say, our demo series, come up here, and I'll take you in. And here you can see we have 3 series underneath this organization. So your organization will always display here at the top. Then within each one of these Simply click on your series, and then within that, you can go into the season. And this is where all of your seasons are listed. So things are set up in a hierarchy. You have your primary organization, and then below that, you have each of your series that you run. And then within each of the series, which can be a combination of oval, road, dirt, if you're an organization that runs multiple different series, those can all be under that one organization. And then within each one of those, you have each of your seasons. And then from your season level, you have the ability to look at all of your race control information. By clicking on this, we'll give you some of your race control settings that you can set in scoring that apply to the race control. And then, of course, you have all of your driver ratings here, and then stats is all of your aggregate data. And now this can be viewed based on season, series, or organization. If we go
So
back
league
go ahead.
members that are part of the league get their own data and stuff up there, but
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
they
Yep.
don't
So
have to. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's nice because within our system, we have a rating system as well. We have XS rating, which is identical to the I rating formula. So it goes out a little bit further. So instead of having a 2850 I rating, it'll be 2850.126. That's a Stevie request. Don't blame me. I'm kidding. It wasn't Stevie. So anyway, if we go into the season here, you'll see when you actually get down to the actual nuts and bolts of the season. This is where all your drivers are listed. This is where your roster is listed. You can put a sponsor in for each of your drivers. You can see the roster listed here. You set that. And then you have your car classes, your drivers' teams. And then up here is where you build out your schedule for this season. So you can simply go here, click on schedule, click edit, and add to this schedule. Calendar can be exported. Here are your points. Points can go to great levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy, Stevie has pushed this to the limit.
Normal members aren't going to be worried so much about doing all that stuff. When they click on a link on the website with the points, it brings them to their page here.
Exactly. Yep. So this is more for the admins on the backside, setting up the series, choosing what championship level that the points apply to, tiebreaker methods, the threshold to score points. And then, of course, within that, you have all of your bonuses and penalties. We have a plethora of those in here as well. You can set up bonuses and penalties per championship versus car or driver or team. The ability to take this to multi levels of scoring, which is really in depth for road racing, not as much as for oval. But the oval has its own little bells and whistles as well. We have automated cautions. We have automated stage racing, stage points. You can basically run an oval series pretty much completely autonomous with the software.
A little harder to do with the road, but
a little harder to do with the road. Yep, but there is some automation over there as well. You can set up random cautions if you choose to, and things like that. So that's a little bit of a quick overview of what that looks like.
There's a lot of capability, and like I said, setting that up, it takes a little time before the season, but it saves me so much time. Jim Brewster just commented in there that it saves him a ton when he misses a race or something to be able to come in and upload that.
Sure. Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's a great tool. I the league that I was running, not so much involved with now, but they use it, and boy, we just found it to be just a lifesaver. And you can carry your seasons forward. So you're building out a new season. You don't want to have to go through and reset all of these parameters. You can simply carry that through. So if you go to your series level here, and let's just say we want to add another season. Well, I don't have enough credits to do that. I got to go shopping at my own store, Steve.
Oh, how awkward is that?
Oh, just a little bit. So another feature is if you've not kept your credits up, it'll let you know.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Greg Ginsburg says it's really neat. he takes all the credit for causing me a lot of sleepless nights when he convinced me to start using you. So.
Oh, funny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's
So,
great.
yeah, thanks, Greg.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so the race control, this is another module that is integrated with the scoring. The beautiful part of this that I just really love is that all of the live race control, the penalties that are called during the event, they all get dumped right into the scoring results. So after that race
The
is over,
iRacing penalties and stuff.
Yep, all the penalties. And then, a lot of series may have two people in race control. They'll have one person entering the actual descriptions of what the race director stated took place in the incident. That'll all be documented so that by the end of the race, if you have the staff potential, you can literally have incident logs, all your penalties, everything assigned before the race is even over. So now when the drivers are done, they can go right to the logs and look at everything. So here is race control, just a quick UI overview of how this looks on screen. So you'll notice there's check boxes all to the left here. What happens during an actual race, this is just an AI race that was sent up just for demonstration purposes. These check boxes on the left are really critical because we have buttons across each line item for each driver. Over to the right, you have global buttons that only show based on the session you're in. If you're in a practice or qualifying, you're not going to see these caution buttons over here. So the only applicable buttons that appear are what's applicable to the actual type of session that you're in at that moment. Across here, we have a message to the driver. We have assign a penalty to the driver, issue a black flag to the driver, clear a black flag, and then we have assign a driver penalty just to that driver with a private message. So here with the penalty, when you are issuing a penalty during the race, let's say number 4 got into number 3 and 6, you're going to click on this checkbox over here and you'll check the box for the driver that you feel is the offending driver. Then you'll check the other 2 boxes for the other 2 drivers involved. Then when you issue the penalty, it will look like this. A minute. One. Grab on one again. Let me see if I have. Oh, we can't play that video. Gone. Well, boy, that got me again, Stevie.
Yeah.
It got me again.
Oh, well.
Yeah. So no problem. Drag that over. But what that does is when you
might want to mute your Riverside, Kevin.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
Getting that echo again.
There we go. When you click on penalty now, since you checked that box for that defending driver, that will now open up a little window. And it's going to have all your predetermined penalties built into it. You can assign that penalty. You can choose whether it goes just to the driver, to all drivers, or to the broadcast. So you have a lot of flexibility there in a very quick time frame. You can select the penalty and just hit send, and away it goes out to the broadcast, goes right into the scoring, and goes to the driver and provides a message to the drivers. Car 24 issued a drive-through penalty for incident responsibility or whatever the penalty is set up for in the scoring. So it really makes for a very efficient way to assign penalties during the race and on the fly. And that way, in the scoring, by checking these boxes real quick of the cars involved, it now documents everybody that was involved in the incident, including the target car that was the offending car. And then obviously all of those can be reviewed after race, but it's really a nice little handy system to have. And then I can show you this, but I don't know that it's really, it might. Let me do it this way. Show you the paints. Grab. Stevie, you've got paints in your series in here, do you not?
Not now. When we used a different broadcaster.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You guys. Yeah. Okay. So you're
He
not
had to
running
do
them as
that.
much
Now
now.
we're using just trading
paints.
So,
Okay. No problem. Yeah. So I'll take you into this series here. here. So once we've gone into the series level, now we're down to where we can actually go to the roster. And now we're going to click on paints. And here is paint that we have listed. And I'm going to click view. And now this is going to bring up this paint. And so you can actually proof all of these paints to make sure that they're in accordance and don't have profanity,
family friendly and
things
all
that
that good stuff.
family friendly and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
That's right.
I had to send a couple back in the day.
Yeah, I bet you did. Yep, absolutely. So here are where the requests come in. So you can, as a paint manager, you can check those requests as those come in. So it's really a handy system. Now, for a driver that is not, let's see, let me switch back. Let me got here that I can use as a better example. These guys go crazy with paints.
We have another painter that goes crazy too.
So here, if you were the paint manager, you'll notice here that paint requests are actually right at the top of the page. So you can simply click on that, and then this will take you in to all of the paints that have come in, suit paints, helmet paints, and so on. And then if you are a team manager, this is where you'll go to manage my teams. And then here is where you can manage paints. This whole page is dedicated to the paints for the series. And you can see here paint, decal, spec, helmet, suit, and all the drivers that have all the different
which ones
loaded. And then you can simply go in and look at their paints just as we did. Now, when you're loading a paint, you do have the ability to, let's do this. Let's go here, add a new season. Here is where you can copy everything forward from a past season, as we discussed. So you can copy the classes, points, bonuses, and so on. And then when we get, here is race control. I showed you that. Let me show you the other part of. Go here, go to schedule, go to the incident log. And here's the incident log for the series. So this gives you an idea of how deep this can actually go. When you are pulling information down from race control, it's going to show you the lap that took place, the location, turn 7. It's going to show the target car. In this case was car 65. He brakes a bit too late, taps number 320 in the brake zone on the opening lap. No spin, no apparent damage. And then here, the finding, they've gone in post-race and put in a little bit deeper description here under finding. And then this over here to the right is automated. This goes in with whatever was assigned by race control. Here you can see warning, incident responsibility, connection problem causing major incident. That was obviously a net issue. So these descriptions, you can look at them based on a season and look at all your incidents throughout an entire season, or you can look at them just by each event as the season goes along. If you want to look at results, you can simply click results and look at results from the scoring. Drivers that are registered within the scoring, they can actually go in and look at their season. I'm running this in a different format. Why it's loading a little slow. Here, a driver can actually go in and look at the event log, which gives them all of the details of what you would see in a typical event log on iRacing. But in addition, you're going to get all of the scoring information as well. Lap data can be looked at as well. Standings, of course, you can literally go right to the standings from this results page. It'll take you right over the standings. Let's go back page. So wait for that to load.
Yeah, it does a ton of stuff.
Come on. We'll just exit the page. So anyway, that kind of gives you a little bit of a rundown on, how the scoring works, how the paints are integrated, how race control is integrated. Just a couple of quick things. We have over 100 tutorial videos that are produced, 2 of which we tried to show you, but unsuccessscoring.
All right.
But anyway, you can go to the YouTube channel, but we do recommend that everyone go to info.xtremescoring.com or xtremescoring.info, either way. So either one of those will get you there. And from there, you can go in and look at all the video tutorials to get familiar with the program. If you guys have a league out there and you're interested in signing up for the service, all the pricing is on the website. So be sure and check us out. Stevie, we appreciate the time tonight to have an opportunity to go over all of this with you guys.
Not a problem. You want to kick off your share, and we will get our mugs back up there.
Yeah, let's get.
There we go.
I don't know if we were in the mood to scare people, but
that's my job, the old guy. No, appreciate you once again taking time out, and a little different view of what sim racing is and can be from your 10,000-foot view over everything.
Exactly. So, there's a lot more than just the on-track chaos, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Always,
Greg, you and me both, by the way, buddy. You're not the only one.
Rude.
Yeah.
What Greg say?
He said Stevie always scares me.
Oh. Watch out, Stevie. You might end up in a horror film, buddy. You might.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, goodness.
You guys got
Stevie,
anything for Kevin?
I did want to say, Steve, I want to thank you for all your years of patronage with our service and using the scoring system. We do appreciate you being on board.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, it's like I said, it saves me a ton of time figuring out the points and everything. That was a big help for me. So
well, good. Glad to hear it, and we appreciate all of your pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, I was going to ask how much of the support time was spent just dealing with Stevie.
Yeah.
Let's not go into that.
Like 60%, 75%.
Kevin and I have had a few phone calls in the past.
Yes. Yeah, we're on a text message basis now. Yep, we've gotten pretty. Yeah. No, good stuff. But yeah, I'll take any questions if anybody has any questions. Yep.
No.
I think I'm good. There was Joshua Wilkie had a question a bit earlier.
Okay.
Let's see here. Talking about the crash in XSLR. Yep, Michelle, that was an amazing crash by the way. But it was a question about. Oh no, that wasn't Joshua. That was Ron Mons. He said, "I'm wonder if the Road to Indy connection was how Kevin met the current XMS Road Racing director." I don't know.
No, actually, that race director that works over at XMS, we had a relationship prior to Road to Indy, but it certainly blossomed for him. It gave him an opportunity to actually meet some of the guys at Tampa when Indy was there, and got to work up in race control with those guys, and so a lot of opportunities really came about for the race director there at XMS because of the Road to Indy experience we had.
Yeah, awesome. That had to be something else, working with the IndyCar and the drivers and staff and stewards and all that.
It was wonderful, and I have to say, every one of them were just incredible to work with. We spent. Oh, you can't even imagine. We had the one thing that was unique about it. We had 9 days to prepare for this event. They called us on a Tuesday, and they wanted to go live the next Saturday.
Yeah.
And so we had to get the TV crews together. We had to get the airtime scheduled. It was just absolute nonsense. It was like trying to put together a major motion picture film in 2 weeks, which is obviously impossible.
What's the normal lead time for an event like that?
For an event like that, we usually like to have about 3 to 4 weeks lead time. Now that's just for pre-production. Typically, we need lead time before that in order to get broadcasting scheduled.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a whole nother element that needs to be done way ahead of time. Obviously, as we see how the NASCAR schedules jump around a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and road racing, IMSA as well. So, yeah, it can be it can be daunting. It was quite a task to take on, but wow, man, we loved it. It was a lot of fun. It was great to work with all the staff at Indy and working with their whole team, and many late nights. I mean, we'd be on the phone with them at 10 o'clock at night, putting stuff together, getting paints approved, getting, all the placement of the decals, and everything had to be exactly as they are on the real car, all the sponsor contingency decals. And yeah, it was a fun experience. We all had we slept for a month afterwards. But,
I bet. Yeah. It advanced sim racing to another level for sure.
It really did. I mean, it brought forth the dream that we'd all hoped for with the years of sim racing a lot quicker than what would have happened had it not.
Yeah.
So it propelled the sport well, it became a sport. I mean, I feel like now that sim racing has actually started to cross over into that esport arena. I mean, for sure. Yeah.
Well, we've been running a little long tonight, but a ton of good information. Appreciate it. I think Adam may have had his bladder gave out or something. I don't. He went running, so you never know. Sarah's expecting in a couple of months. So.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, boy, Adam, we may not see much of you for a while. Yeah.
So again, Kevin, thanks for taking your time tonight, sharing all this stuff.
You bet.
Great information, great view from the 10,000-foot perspective. JG, thanks for the highlights once again, bud.
Yep.
Awesome job on the highlights. Adam, where'd you go? I need to thank you, but you're not here.
Yeah, we appreciate
you,
Adam.
Yeah, there he is. Just in time. We were just thanking everybody, Adam.
All right.
So you're back.
We can get out of here. My food was burning. Sorry, guys.
I figured your kidneys ran out or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, thanks, Adam, for all you do. Appreciate it, bud, running the dials behind the scenes here and everything else. And say hi to Sarah for us. And,
will do.
With that, I think we're going to wrap this thing up for the night. Appreciate our chat community. You guys have been awesome tonight. Some good information and a lot of fun. So with that, episode 25, the Racing Line. I think we're done. Wrap it up. Good night, guys.
Sounds great. Good night, guys. Take care.
Until next week.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate your time, Frank. This gentleman has done wonders for sim racing, the real world racers that come into sim racing or go back and forth. Frank's responsible to get some guys out on track. So without further ado, Mr. Frank Swartz, Grass Paddock Motorsports, tell us what you do. What do we call this thing? The Racing Line. I'm all out of sync. We got more people to deal with this week than what I'm used to. So thanks to my co-host Jason for joining us. Adam's back this week, and as you can see, we got a fourth sitting here. Megan Oversheet is already joining us to help us do some reviews and stuff. So thank you, Megan.
Let's go, Megan.
And help us. Good evening, Greg.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, hey, we're just getting ready to review the spec racers, and since we had an announcer in the waiting room, we thought we'd go ahead and bring you in.
Ah, well, thank you very much.
There he is.
Hey, we got him.
Hey, Jason, we got you this time.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me.
We won't talk about the other thing.
Our special guest for the evening, Mr. Dave Ogburn, and for Dave to introduce you to these two knuckleheads, you got. Great to see you, Thor. Welcome to the fourth chair and the podcast this week.
No, thank you so much for having me. It feels surreal, like finally being able to talk to you guys. You know, I've been in this league for like what 2-3 years, and yeah, finally face to face.
Yes, our fourth guest.
Jeff.
I'm on the spot now, Jeff. Oh. So, welcome, Mr. Jeff Jacobson. Again. Great to have you here. Thanks for taking some time out to join us. We get to some fun part. That's why you're here, Jerry. This is our guest segment after the reviews. So thanks for sitting through with us. And
that was fun.
And
thanks.
Yeah, it's some good racing. So, well, first of all, we gotta say thank you to Trenton for taking time to come join us. He's one of the hardest working guys I know, and you can look there in the shop behind him and get an idea of what he does. So, as everybody sees, we've got Darren Ganji, and if you didn't know already, he is Mr. Sim Motion, where you can get all your sim rigs and equipment and everything. He's also the sponsor of that league we were just talking about.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Sean Ambrose, we go back forever, back to the very early beginning days of the Weekend Warriors, when it was broadcasted on another broadcast, GSRC, I don't mind saying it. Very good to us, and Sean was one of the producers, announcers, always great to talk with. So,
Mr. Edgar Sancinelli, Weekend Warrior, Frito Sport Racing. I don't know what all you do, but great to have you join us tonight, Edgar.
Yes.
I'm not saying shit. Oh, see, I literally. Whatever, I give up.
There you go.
I know you've had a mute for me. So.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, when you
yeah.
Just for the views when Adam and you are there. I mean, it's
yeah,
jeez.
Oh yeah.